Hey folks, welcome to Helen Roscoe Yoga on YouTube. I hope you're well. In this session today, I'm going to be guiding you through a pregnancy yoga class, about 20 to 25 minutes in length. In terms of props, you're going to need some cushions or something equivalent to a bolster, so a nice big cushion that you can place underneath your hips. I also have a blanket, and you may find it useful to have access to blocks as well. So we'll start seated, and this practice is going to be quite low to the ground. So it's mostly going to be seated and kneeling with a rest at the end. So ensure you have space to move freely and props to support you through the practice. Resting your hands onto your lap, finding a comfortable seat of your choice. Take a few moments to settle here. Notice how you're feeling physically. Bring awareness to sensations in your body. Notice any sounds, whether those sounds are distant or near to you. Invite your eyes to open a little and then a little more. And just be aware of colour, of shape, light. Just noticing the space that you're in without labor, without any labels or judgment. And then if you feel comfortable, soften your gaze or close your eyes. And then bring awareness to touch and invite your palms to rest over the space where you feel most connected or have a sense to your baby. Your hands are warm, the touch brings with it a love and compassion, a bond between you and your unborn child. Mentally repeat to yourself, I am the lungs for my baby. And with each breath in, there is a nourishment, a vitality. And with each breath out, as I let go, there is an inner hug within me. Your breath in is spacious. Your breath out is softening. Can you find space along your spine through to the crown of your head? Space across your bump, across your torso. And when you feel ready to move, as you breathe in, take your arms out at shoulder level. And on the exhale, round yourself into a hug. Breathe in, expand through the arms again. And on the exhale, rounding into a hug. And do this maybe 4 times. Just exploring a sense of openness and expansion. And then gathering in a warmth, compassionate hug toward yourself and your baby. And when your hands rest on your shoulders, just take a few moments to almost bow down into that place. Invite your head to move, your jaw opening, your breath audible. And then invite your arms out in front of you, the backs of the hands find one another, the elbows cross over. If that doesn't feel comfortable, you could bring them into a position where the elbows and the hands find one another. And take a moment to breathe into this space and lift the elbows with the inhale. And then relax the elbows down on the exhale. You might be aware of sensation around your shoulders, moving your elbows in between the upward range and the downward range. And when you feel ready to release from this, take a breath in and expand the arms wide. Exhale and cross them over the opposite way. Hugging yourself gently, warmth. And then Finding the opposite position with your arms, so the elbows cross over the backs of the hands, or the elbows and the palms find one another. And this time invite a circling with the elbows. Imagine massaging your shoulders. And the shoulders take so much of our everyday stress, the neck and the shoulders. And during pregnancy, much of the weight is at our front. So everything is pulled forwards. So it's really important to allow ourselves to have space and movement around the shoulders that can help relieve pressure and stress. Effort. Circling the opposite way. And when you feel ready to release from this, extend the arms out away from you and rest your hands beside you. Your fingertips might find the ground, or maybe they're on your legs. Raising your right arm, take a breath in, and as you exhale, your left palm to the ground, stretching through the right side of your body. Breathe in and release that. Exhale to the opposite side and breathe into your space in the side of your body. Exhale, soften there. Breathe in to release that. Exhale, lower the opposite arm down. A moment to breathe into that shape and then soften into that shape and then breathe in to release. And if this feels a bit low on the ground, a block or a blanket, and you can bring your hand a little bit higher up so you're not having to move quite so deeply into that side bend. Completing the round that you find yourself on. Take a moment to come back to your starting place. Your arms are by your sides. Take a breath in, draw the shoulders towards your ears. Sigh the breath. And then take your time to stretch your legs out in front of you so that they are wider than your shoulders or shoulder distance, so there's space in between. Just take a few moments to find that space for your body. So we still want to maintain a sense of openness along the front of the body. So if you find that you're rounding, we want to lift the bottom a little higher from the ground, maybe bend the knees a little bit more. And bring your awareness to your feet, your ankles, maybe the hands just come behind you. And start to circle your ankles, circle your toes around your ankles. And I'm not sure if you can see, but my hips are also circling as well, or the tops of the hips rather, not the actual pelvis. I'm kind of rolling, and the knees are circling around as well. So encouraging a sense of fluidity down the legs towards your toes and changing that direction. Take a breath in and find length. Exhale and draw the toes towards you. Be really gentle and attentive. And when you feel ready to pause that, just let your hands rest on your legs. Invite yourself to massage gently around the legs, the tops of the legs, underneath the knees. You can bend your knees as much as you need to here. It's not easy finding space to fold when we're pregnant. Okay. Invite your hands to interlace, legs stretch out on the ground again. Sense of length through the chest, and as you exhale, circle the arms around from one foot to the other, and then breathe in and bring yourself upright. So imagine that you are stirring a big bowl of porridge around the ground in front of you from one foot to the other and then back to your center, and then you can change direction around from one foot to the other and then gathering yourself back up. And your breath is entwined within the movement. The exhale takes you forwards and the inhale brings you up. When you're ready to pause from that, again, a moment to observe. Relax the jaw. and take a slow transition onto all fours. And at this point you might decide you'd like a blanket underneath your knees or your wrists. And we're thinking about bringing the wrists, depends where you are in your pregnancy and whether you need that kind of extra space for the body, but sometimes the wrists can also be compromised during pregnancy, so we might want to just have those wrists a little bit further ahead of the shoulders and the knees a little bit wider than your hips, especially if you're in the latter stages of pregnancy. It just gives you more space for your body to move. Invite yourself to sway from one side to the other when you feel ready. Take a breath in, explore the hips moving in one direction. Take a breath out, explore your hips, your rib cage, shoulders moving the opposite way. And if you'd like to, you can bring your head into this movement as well. So there's almost a kind of a squiggle of the spine, moving fluidly. And then slowly bring yourself back to what feels like a neutral position. And then invite yourself to find length from your tail, so the tummy might feel heavy, and then lifting the chest. And as you exhale, round the pelvis in the direction of your heels, you're just moving as far as is comfortable for you. And on the inhale, scoop forwards. Imagine water in your pelvis tilts out the front, and then on the exhale, the water spills out the back as you roll your pelvis back. And invite a sense of fluidity in your movement here, and the breath out. Perhaps even imagine an oval shape that you're creating with your body if you were drawing a line. You can do this maybe 3 more times. And the exhale takes you back. And the inhale brings you forwards. And when you feel ready to pause, just coming into a position where you're neutral in your body and you rest. Notice your breath. And then coming up onto your knees and stepping your right foot out in front of you. Invite your right arm to rest onto your leg. If you find it might be useful here to have some extra support for your balance, placing a hand on the chair. And then also just play around with the positioning of your feet as well. So the front foot might just be a little bit wider in stance, and the back foot can move across your body in the same direction. Take a mudra with your left hand, finger and thumb together, and as you breathe in, taking the mudra up towards the sky, and on the exhale, circle the arm out behind you. And invite this mudra to bring with it a sense of wholeness as you make the circle with your arm, a symbolic circle of life, circle of breath, and the circle of pregnancy. And at a certain point, invite your arm to rest behind you, stretched out behind you, and then bring yourself upright so you're open across the arms. If this feels like there's tension coming into the shoulder, you could always lower that back arm down or the front arm down. So just playing around with your arm positioning there, and also the position of your head. And with each breath in, a sense of openness across your torso. On the breath out, anchor down through the core, through the pelvis, the knees, the ankles, the feet. And when you're ready to come down, hands beside you, knees, and take a few moments to be in a neutral position. When you're ready, taking the same practice on the opposite side. And the forearm rests, this mudra, symbolic of a circle or cycle, even a cycle of life, the circle of life, beginning, a middle, and an end. And as you circle your arms around, just think of the wholeness that you can fulfill, spacious on the breath in, releasing on the breath out. When you feel ready to stay, and that back arm is out behind you, and then lifting through the front arm, maybe the mudra comes in both hands, just allows a point of focus. Can you soften your shoulders? Notice your breath, the strength, the Shakti that you're made of, the wholeness of your breath. And then when you're ready, bring the hands down, knees alongside one another, and pause, resting your head onto your hands, your bottom is raised. Invite your hips to sway. Softening down, softening down. Sigh the breath. And then bring yourself into a seat. And we'll just take a few moments here to pause. You might find it useful to rest up against a wall with your legs stretched out, just a way for you to be able to kind of let go of the physical effort of holding in your body, but in a way where you feel supported. So sometimes this kind of position of being up against a wall can be really useful. Invite your hands to rest over your baby once more, or the place where you sense a connection to your baby. Maybe open your eyes and close them a few times with each breath in and each breath out. Notice the shape and form in front of you without judgment, without labeling, and then close the eyes. Notice sounds, perhaps distant or near to you, the sound of your breath or the sound of your body settling. Perhaps there is some birdsong or a breeze that you can tune into. And invite your legs to soften, let go of effort in your feet. And repeat mentally, I am the lungs for my baby. With each breath in, I welcome a sense of vitality. With each breath out, I let go, and there is an inner embrace, a warmth, a hug around the space where my baby resides. I am the lungs for my baby. As I breathe in vitality. As I exhale, I let go and move, soften into a hug. Obviously, you can stay here for as long as you like. Find ease in being comfortable in your body with your breath, supported by the ground. And when you feel ready to return to your day, slowly bring yourself upright. Thank you for joining me. Hope you enjoyed the session. Let me know if you have any comments or feedback, and I'll share with you another pregnancy yoga class soon. Thank you very much.